Well, we found some canola. It's down here. We started out seeding some 357, which is a little longer. I think it's 4 or 5 days growing season longer than the 233. Did a couple swipes and found some stuff that was borderline, but both Dad and I felt like, you know what, there's some later green pods there that are probably just not getting threshed out. They're not showing up as green. We have 0 green in the sample. I think they're just not threshing at all. And with the price of canola being what it is right now, doesn't seem like a lot of value to be going early in it. This and bigger stuff has got incredible pod shatter resistance and pod integrity. It seems like in 2019 we were running the 233. It got rained on half a dozen times and warmed up, and it hung on great. We had almost no pod loss, yield loss, anything like that. And we know that because I swathed some, and we harvested that before it started raining a bunch, or right as it started raining. And then we got into the stuff on the other side of the field and ran exactly the same. So that was fantastic. I love that stuff for that very reason. Now, the 357, like I said, I don't think it's quite ready. So down here, we only had 40 acres of the 233, kind of a test spot. And it's only a mile down the road from where we were. So we went into it, only 40 acres. Probably get a couple trucks out of it, that's about it. But yeah, it's good and dry. Looks really nice and dark black. Compared to the other stuff, it was a touch on the brown side. So today's really our first day of doing canola, but it's gonna be a short day. And we actually might go back and try wheat. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. If the wheat's going, and if it's even close, we'll probably just go as long as Mother Nature will let us go overnight. We're just bagging it anyways. So we'll see what it comes out, but the bottom of this bin has some canola that's borderline. It's like 10.1, 10.2, and 10 is dry. This load probably is going to be about 9, but the next load I bet will be 8. So it's going to average out to a nice dry bin, but I'm probably going to haul a load or 2 out anyways with the semi once it starts raining. So kind of our first day of combining canola. Won't be a full day, that's for sure. And you know, there was a lot of spot checking, but let's take a look at this stuff. I guess you can't see. See those kind of brown specky ones, there was a lot of that in the 357, so it just wasn't quite ready. I better take some more sample because I want to get a test on this load. Here I am talking to you guys. Very accurate sampling system. Well, what I do love is a little remote for my grain truck, for Dad's grain truck. Need more hoist up? You just press the button and it goes up. Not too fast. Really handy when you're on top of the bin and trying to top it off, because we don't have the spout alarms yet. That's a next year project. Well, we ran out of canola. That 40 acres of 233P was all we got off. So now we're back in the wheat. We got another bag set back up. Why are my lights on? Taking a look. My interior light took it a long time to shut off there. So we're bagging. Oh, I forgot to mark, but it's a touch tough. It was 15.3, dry is 14.5. So, you know, we do have 3 bags of dry stuff, including that one. 2 of them are like bone dry, so we'll probably end up blending it off. If not, we've got a few options. We can sell it for feed. Feed prices are really good right now, And usually with feed, they'll take an extra point of moisture. They don't really care that bad. Another option is we have a couple of bins at Dad's that have aeration and heat. We can take, a couple thousand bushel at a time up to Dad's, because we're pretty much as far away from Dad's right now as we can get. Those are two 5,000 or 4,800 bushel bins. If we're going to do any drying, we'll put about 3,500 to 4,000 in. We don't want it right full, but so we can almost do a full bag between those two. So really what we could do is extract a whole bag if we have those two bins empty and another in the yard, or a bit move to a different bin, something like that. And it's not an actual grain dryer where it's a constant throughput. We fill the bin, we turn on the fan, we turn on the heat, we run it for a day or two. We've got some temperature cables in there. We've tried out a couple moisture sensors. We'll maybe try them out again, but we run it for a bit with heat, and then we run it just to dry it off or cool it off. Run the fan for a day just to cool things down, and usually that takes off a couple of points of moisture. So those are kind of the options we're looking at right now, is either blend it, send it, or deal with it. And not really. So the options, blend it, dry it, sell it for feed, take the discount on tough. It probably is, the cost of drying right now is probably minimal at the elevator, as long as you haul to a place that can dry. So that is something. One of our closest places is Ceres down at North Portal, but they do not have drying capacity. So they pretty much only take dry grain. The other places around, who knows? They might not even have really any cost, because I know there was a lot of guys that got some wheat off earlier than we did. It's probably bone dry. They might be wanting to blend that a bit. Lots on the go. We'll go as long as we can. The straw started to get a tiny bit tough right at when the sun went down, when everybody turned on their lights, but it seems to be hanging on. I'm still seeing some dust off the back of the machines. They're not going all that fast though. Who knows how long this will last. The reason we're going so hard is because it's supposed to rain on and off for like the next 3 or 4 days again. Like, if this could have been in June or July, oh my God, we would have had amazing crops. But it is what it is. You deal with it. We're not really that worried about leaving the canola standing. We've had good luck with that. I am worried about leaving the durum out too long. So that's why we're kind of trying to push this. If we can get done this field, we can get moved up to the durum. This is the last cereals down south. The canola can wait for a couple weeks, really. It's not going to harm anything. The biggest thing is we would love to fill the bag. I don't think it's happening tonight. We got two options with that. Number one is we can pull off and seal it, and I don't think we're going to do that. It's not supposed to rain a ton. It's just supposed to drizzle on and off for the next few days. So what we're going to do is try and get where you can see. You can see it's slightly tilted back. We're going to tilt it forwards. That way, not that drastically. Only 5 degrees or so forwards. It's maybe only 2 or 3 degrees backwards right now. We'll tilt it forwards, and then where we take the sample, we'll just kick this guy open, and water will drain out. We've done it before. It's not a big deal. So, God, I love working at night though, because you can never lose people. Especially that versatile. That's got some of the brightest lights I've ever seen, and that's bare bones stock. So, yeah, working at night's always cool. It's getting cool too. It is cooling off in a hurry, which is not good.